The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right. Would like to welcome everyone back to another KevCAM night class tonight. Tonight, helping out with technical and questions, Tim Micah. Tim, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Good evening, everybody.
And I didn't even get to tell Tim, but Greg Payton's not with us today, so he gets to play the role of Greg Payton as well.
Hey, all right. Let me grab my other hat.
Yeah. So I do see a couple new attendees in here. So just to go through quick housekeeping, we are using GoToWebinar and everybody is on mute just to eliminate any background noise. But if you guys do have a question, there is a questions panel for you. Definitely type those in there and then Tim will read them off for us. Very laid back, basically here for you guys to learn. If you guys do have ideas, send those over to me via email and I'll get those added in there. But with that being said, well, actually, let me do one other thing here. And if we have any technical difficulties tonight, we are doing Facebook Live at the same time, so not sure how this is all going to work. But for those of you guys that are new to the class, if you guys go to YouTube and type in SolidCAM University, every night class is recorded, as well as how-to videos in there, quick tips and tricks. Between Mark and myself, we put a lot of different training material in here for everyone. So just wanted to let you guys know about that and going forward. All right, with that being said, tonight what we are going to be covering is the first part of iMachining. What I wanted to do is kind of break iMachining up into 4 different segments because of the new 2020 and the stock recognition and the automatic recognition features that are built inside of iMachining. I wanted to go through it in a single stage. And tonight is a pretty easy one, so we'll actually breeze through this class pretty quickly. But for the upcoming nights, we will definitely go into more detail. So with that being said, let me go to my view, hide show. Let me get rid of these planes. There we go. Okay, so right here we have a standard part, prismatic part, straight walls, or straight up and down walls, flat floors. And to get into iMachining, you guys can go to your ribbon up here, and we can go right to iMachining. And now, if you guys are running 2019 or older, this will look completely different for you. So this is what we're going to be covering over the next 4 episodes of the iMachines here. And I want to kind of go through these with fine-tooth comb, just so you guys have a great understanding of what all these buttons do and how powerful they are for you. So getting started. Now with iMachining, you guys can pick multiple levels and all that stuff. But for right now, I just want to machine based off of faces. So right here, you will show that we are doing recognition by face, and it's telling us to begin selecting faces. So I can just come in here and click on all my flat faces. That I would like to machine. Now, I can also grab this upper face up here, but since this geometry is kind of overlapping with my other geometry, it will not work out as well as you guys are thinking. So what we'll do is we'll break that up in 2 different operations. So right now, I have picked the geometry that I want to machine. Now, if we go over the tabs here, I can click on stock, and basically what it's going to be doing is it's going to be looking at my stock set automatically. If you guys had a different stock in there, you could browse to that. We are telling it to cut rest material only, so we don't want it to cut any air. If we are doing a extend on our pocket versus stock, we're going to go to the closest point, and as well as an end extension to the closest point also. Now, with all the new iMachining operations, we do have the 3D Model Protect, and if maybe we wanted to leave 10 thou on everything that we're doing, we could just do an entire target offset of 10 thou to put that offset in there. Or if we're working on a different model, we can pick up a different model right here. Now, the real cool thing that I like is the fixture protection. So this will protect against any fixtures that we're using and all that. That's right there. So real nice feature in there. As well as back, I think it was in 2018, they came out with this. If we wanted to do floor fillets, we could turn on floor fillets if we wanted a radius in here, and we could tell it what size radius as well as a scallop in there. Okay. So now another new thing that is built in, or maybe it's not new. I think maybe it came out in 19, but the multi-tool functionality. So in the past, everybody is used to doing iRough or iRough plus finish, iRest, and iFinish. There is really no need to go through that process anymore. You can go right to multi-tool, and we'll go ahead and grab a tool in here. And we'll just grab that 1/2 inch. Now, if I wanted to do a roughing or a finishing operation or just one or the other, I can turn on the checkbox right here. So for this particular one, I would like to do a finish on my wall as well as a finish on my floor. So like I said, there's no use of coming up here anymore to turning on your rough and finish, because you can do it all right inside the tool dialog. Now, the real neat thing about this is I can keep adding tools in here as I want. So maybe I want to start off with something big and then keep stepping it down, and it will only cut the remaining stock that is left over, which is the rest material. So you can add as many tools in your dialog in here, just keep stepping it down, where before you would have to do save and copy, change out your tool, tell it to do iRest, where now it's all built in for you. And we have our tool, and we can also do a collision protection against my holder. So let's say I would like to have a 10 thou clearance between my holder and the stock or the target, so I can turn that on. Now, levels, since we are picking off of the geometry off of the faces, it automatically knows what my levels are. So what is real nice to this is it's already linked itself to the model. So if these pocket depths were to change in depth or height, this number right here would automatically update for everyone. Now, Technology Wizard, we're kind of all used to seeing what the Technology Wizard can do in here. This is basically controlling your feed rate, step down, step over, angle of engagement, how much to take per pass. This is kind of the easy button. So if you're running level 3, we're going to be running on a more conservative side of things, where if we're running up on level 8, we're going to be not pushing the limits, but we're going to be cutting at a much faster rate that's in there. Now, when you guys run on level, 6, 7, 8, you want to make sure you got a good work holding. So make sure your part is held down securely. We're not using a vacuum fixture or anything like that, because it is going to do a much more aggressive cut that's in there. Now, another cool thing that we can do is, since we told it that we would like to do a finishing operation, all my finishing options have turned on over here. So let's say I would like to run compensation. Maybe on my finish pass from my floor, maybe I want to do something different than 50, so we can change that. We can do a large overlap on exit, large lead in, lead out. You have a lot of different options here. But another cool one that you guys can do is you have the option to do floor finish and wall finish. So maybe on your print, you have spec'd it out that the customer is looking for a 32 RA finish, or maybe a 64 RA finish. So you can come in here, or 63, you can come in here and select the finish that you are trying to achieve. Now, one thing to remember is RA finish is all based off of a mathematical from peak to peak measurement in there. So this is doing it all based off of the mathematical. We can't take into factor if your machine is old and wore out. We can't take into factor if you got a little bit of run out on your tool. That's not going to be taken into factor here. So let's say Tim's got on his print, he's got a RA finish call out of 63. I would just bump it back 1. So we can just tell it a 32 RA finish. So that way we know for sure that we're going to get that finish that we're looking for in there. Okay.
That's like in a perfect world condition type values is what we're going off of there. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And as we all know, we love that perfect world, and it never happens. So, other than that, everything has been set up the same as what you guys have been used to before. You know, we are doing a helical entry in there. We're doing center cutting, in pocket positioning, all that. So let's go ahead and simulate what we have here. So it's building our toolpath. And one thing I did forget to mention, before I hit the save and calculate button, you guys seen that this was all highlighted in blue. And it'll come back up here. Well, let's bring it into Machine Sim. 1 second here. All right, let's hop. Once it's done loading here, we'll go back to Solid Verify. I'm going to show you what I was talking about with the blue highlighted area. So see how everything is highlighted in this light blue area. So that is telling me what is going to be cut. So as you can see, you know, we have an open pocket over here, but our stock extends past that. So you can see our tool path is actually coming in from the outside of the stock, working its way in there. If that blue area or the cutting region is something that you don't want to see, you can actually come over to the geometry and click the disable preview, and then you won't see that blue that is filled in there for you. So that's kind of a nice feature. I like it because I can see where my tool is going to be cutting before I even do anything else. And that blue preview will pull up as soon as you have your geometry as well as your tool. So it needs those two factors to figure out what areas it's going to be cutting. So now we'll go ahead and simulate this. So for our closed pockets, it's going to do what you guys are used to seeing before. It's going to do a nice helix into there and then start the morphing process. And then as soon as we get into those tight corners, it's going to automatically switch over to that D-slot tricoidal movement. And then here's a good example of an open. So I didn't have to tell it that that was an open pocket. I didn't have to tell it, you know, open chains or closed chains. It knows based off of the stock as well as the face that I selected in there, what it needs to be picked. So it's the new 2020 with the feature recognition is really powerful for everyone. Let's take a look at my settings here. Accuracy 1000. Let's bump up our go a little bit faster for everyone so we're not falling asleep. Even though Tim's already halfway asleep.
I'm awake. I'm awake. I was just thinking about the programming steps you used to have to go through back in the day.
Yeah.
Compared to the way this is functioning now, it's just night and day compared to the way we used to have to do things.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys can actually pull up this part yourself and see the old way of doing it. If you guys go to your directory and go to See Users, Public Documents, SolidCAM 2020, and click on Users, and then SolidWorks Examples, and this is the iMachining. You can see the part name right here. And there is probably 15 different operations that are in here to do this one part. Where now, what I'm going to be showing you guys over the next few weeks with the different parts of iMachining and the new feature recognition, that can be eliminated down to maybe we can get it down to 8 operations. So it's not gonna it's gonna save you cycle time, but it's also really gonna save you guys programming time as well. So definitely keep that in mind when it comes to that. So now if we go ahead and do our stock target comparison, we can see that everything is up to size. So everything looks good in there. Now the only thing I can see that I have material is still up on that top wall. So since that geometry was overlapping, I can just grab that as a separate operation. Now, typically I would probably come in and just do a face milling operation, but I just want to show you the different ways of kind of going about this stuff. So we'll go ahead and do another iMachine. And like I said, all you have to do is just click on the face that you want to work on. It's going to grab it for us. We'll go ahead and grab that same tool here. Now you can see, actually before we grab the tool, you can see that my chain, if I can get this, there we go, it's basically what it's going to be doing is it's telling it that this is an open chain and it's going to machine all of this. But as soon as I pick my tool, it will automatically know that, all right, I only have extra material in these key locations here. So let's go ahead and grab that tool now. Hit the green check mark. And you'll see this final updated stock calculation pop up when you're grabbing that tool, and that's that preview. So what it's showing is it's going to be that blue color that's in there. Plus, what it's doing is it's kind of figuring out the tool path right now, the best way, so we're not wasting any time cutting air or recutting anything that we've already done previously.
And while we're waiting for that to finish calculating, just want to remind everybody, if you've got questions, just ask them in the questions panel, and I'll bring those to Kevin's attention. We'll get those answered right away.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now if I come in and zoom in here, we'll see that, get a little side view, you can see where all my remaining stock is, and that is where my end mill is gonna end up machining off right there. So it knows that all this stuff was already previously done, so there's no need to go back and recut any of that. We're just cutting off that extra, I think I had 50 thou of stock up on the top. Now, obviously we don't have to worry about finishing a wall because these are all open, but we would like to do a finished floor. So now, like I said, we don't have to worry about levels. We can tell it how fast we want to run, as well as our finish. So we got our 32 RA still set up there. Save and calculate. And now we can see it's focusing only on the areas that had material left over. So pretty nice and cool stuff there. Now, if I do my stock target comparison here, I can see that my tops are all up to size, as well as all of my inner pockets are up to size as well. So real simple, easy to kind of go about this. Now, one thing I forgot to do is before we start running a part, we need to probe up our part to find out where it is. So let's just go ahead and add a probe real quick. And for this one, we're doing a hole measurement. I'm just going to take a single Z point right there to find my Z. Now coming up to, I'm going to be doing a probing night class and on all the benefits that how the probing can help you out. What am I doing here? Labs. Okay, so we got our probe Z point. I'm going to make a copy. and I want to do the outside of my stock. And we got our tool, so we'll go right to Tech 1. I want to do X and Y. And I want to move my Z up about right there. Perfect. Save and calculate. Now, I come here. I'm going to move these operations below my probing. Now, one thing you will notice is, see how I have these little asterisks that have popped up. Anything that has to do with updated stock is going to require a calculation, only because the iMachining path is all based off of the stock recognition that's there. So anytime you do any moving around, or if you had a whole slew of operations and you decided to move that iMachine from the top down to the bottom, it's going to require a recalculation just because it's looking for any updated stock that has been inputted in there. Okay, so now we probed our part, so we're probing our Z to find out where our part is at. Then we're probing for X and Y because we have our coordinate system in the center, and then we're doing our iMachine. So let's just kind of go through, and we're going to play this through in Machine Sim so you can kind of see exactly everything that we're doing here. Now on my Machine Sim, I have it set up as a 3 view, so I can kind of see I got the right side here. I'll go over here, and I'm gonna get the left side, and then this one I'm gonna kind of get a straight on view, and we'll slow it down. So we're doing our probe Z hit, doing our XY, and now I can speed this up here. And you can see that we're doing our iMachining to get all those pockets in there. Any questions from anyone? Now, like I said, we are doing Facebook Live at the same time, so I guess I should ask, I don't know if anybody's watching it on the SolidCAM North America, but for anybody that is currently watching on the GoToMeeting, I'm going to show you guys, there is a new Facebook user. What am I trying to say here, Tim? A Facebook
group.
Yeah.
Group.
Yep.
Right.
It's called SolidCAM North America. And the nice thing about this group is this is actually from 2 of our customers that have created this group. So it's a great place to come ask questions, you know, any ideas. The nice thing is that it's fully controlled, so there's going to be no advertising on there. There's going to be no how to hack the system or anything like that. So let me just do this. Go this way. And if you guys are on Facebook, you can come here and just type in SolidCAM North America. And right here. And like I said, this is set up by Rampage Manufacturing as well as another guy, but you can see we're doing a live right now. But definitely come here, check it out. There's a lot of great tips and tricks in here. You guys can ask questions, all that good stuff there. So, all right, Tim, am I forgetting anything? Or Greg, am I forgetting anything?
Yeah. Hang on a second. Oh, no, I'm not picking up anything that you missed. So
okay,
you're covered all the things that we talked about.
Perfect. Any questions from you guys before we wrap this up? Okay, I don't see anything coming through. For our regulars that watch us every Tuesday night, we are going to have a little pause in the SolidCAM Live, because if you guys have been following this for a while, you guys know that I go farming every fall, so I'll be out in the tractor for the next month, but we will be back at it with the iMachining Part 2 and Part 3 and Part 4 for you guys. So we can show you the ins and outs of all this new feature recognition that's there. But with that being said, thanks for attending the night class. Definitely appreciate it. Like I said, if you have any questions or ideas that you would like to see in here, definitely send those over to me via email. My email address is kevin.rankle, and that's RANKL @solidcam.com. Send those over and we'll gladly show that in there. But for my chair, that is it. And we will talk to you guys in a few weeks.
Sounds good, Kevin. And just want to say another thank you again for you doing these classes. It's a great resource for the customers, and keep it up. And we'll see you all again next time.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.